Families of detained protesters turn to Public Complaints Commission for help. Abuja demolition of unauthorized buildings begins amid land dispute. Ex-lawmaker Farouk Lawan released after completing jail term. On the foreign scene, President Paul Biya returns to Cameroon after 6 weeks' absence amid health speculation. Good evening and welcome to the news update on Trust TV. I am Aisha Salihu. Thank you so much for joining us on the news in detail. We begin in the northwest region of the country, where relatives of persons arrested during the hunger protests in Kano State have approached the Public Complaints Commission, pleading for help to secure the release of their loved ones. Many families claim that detainees are innocent, while some are underage. Trust TV's Abdulaziz Ibrahim reports.
It's a day filled with tears and desperation at the Federal Secretariat in Kano, as families of those arrested during the August hunger protests are here to submit their petitions to the Public Complaints Commission. The protest, which began over the rising cost of living, with reported cases of violence and breakdown of law and order in parts of the state, resulted in numerous arrests, with many families now calling for the release of their children and loved ones.
We have been submitted our petition to him because those our children were took them to Abuja. They are in bad situation. They are in trouble situation. Majority of them are under 18 years.
Fatima Yusuf is one of the many worried mothers here. She says her two sons, aged 13 and 16, are among those taken away.
Gwamnati da ta taimaka ta saka mana da yaranmu, ta saka mana yaranmu su dawo gare mu. Mu ma mu san a halin da yaran nan suke ciki, ba mu san a halin da suke ciki.
We are pleading with those in authority to free our children because we cannot even tell the situation they are in right now. I was pregnant when they were arrested, and I've since given birth to this child I'm carrying. They don't even know what he looks like. The Commissioner of the Public Complaints Commission in Kano, Abdullahi Atta, acknowledges the gravity of the situation. He reveals that a staggering 75% of the detained children from Kano are under the age of 18.
So today, as you are seeing, we are receiving a complaint from hundreds of people. These are parents of the children that were arrested during the protest that took place about 2-3 months ago in Nigeria. These children, most of them, 75% of them from our investigation, are below the age of 18. Some are even 13, 15, 16 years. So they come to complain about the arrest of the children, and they were taken to Abuja. From the information we are receiving is most of the states have gone to Abuja and they have processed for the bail or something about the release of their children. But the people been arrested in Kano State, as you saw the complainants, we are not being released. So we received this complaint and we are going to process it to our headquarters at Abuja. And inshallah, we are hoping the federal government will look into it and release the children of Kano State also.
As the families continue their wait, the situation remains tense. Many are hoping that their cries for the release of their loved ones will soon be heard. Abdulaziz Ibrahim, Trust TV News.
And to the nation's capital. In a bid to enforce the Abuja Master Plan, the Federal Capital Territory Development Control has demolished unauthorized structures in Lugbe. Unconfirmed reports suggest the demolition stems from a land dispute, with further claims indicating up to 200 acres of land may face demolition. Elsewhere in Lagos State, in a bid to tackle the recurring flooding challenges in the state, the government has embarked on a demolition exercise to remove illegal structures obstructing drainage channels and canals. The latest operation took place in Arowojobe Estate, Mende Villa, Maryland, where several structures on drainage are being demolished to clear the water path. The demolition exercise was carried out by the Drainage Enforcement and Compliance Team of the Lagos State Ministry of Environment and Water Resources in collaboration with security agencies. The operation is part of a broader initiative to proactively address the flooding challenges in Lagos State. The flooding challenges in the state have been exacerbated by illegal structures and encroachments on the drainage channels. The government's efforts to address this issue have been ongoing, with several enforcement operations carried out in recent months to remove obstructions blocking drainage channels across the state.
This demolition, demolition is going on. On this alignment, we started as shown here. We think we have about 3 buildings. Although the remaining part of the building that is meant to be demolished has been marked. Can no longer wait for the demolition to be completed, because on this alignment here, I think on those both sides, the road construction is still coming in. So without all this...
Still in the southwest region of the country, a bridge connecting over 50 communities in Ibarapa East local government area of Oyo State has collapsed following a heavy rainfall. The Epin River Bridge, which caved following intense downpour, has left residents stranded, with locals appealing for urgent government interventions. According to eyewitnesses, the rain, which began on Friday, October 11, 2024, persisted through Saturday morning, causing the bridge to collapse. The affected communities are calling on the chairman of Ibarapa East local government area, Kazim Arogundade, to expedite reconstruction efforts. The Speaker of the State House of Assembly, Adebo Ogundoyin, who represents the constituency, was also urged to facilitate prompt action. A former member of the House of Representatives, Farouk Lawan, who was sentenced to 5 years imprisonment for demanding and accepting $500,000 bribe, has regained his freedom. Lawan's conviction was upheld by the Supreme Court on January 26, 2024. He was found guilty of soliciting a $3 million bribe from Femi Otedola, a Nigerian billionaire oil tycoon, while serving as chairman of the House of Representatives ad hoc committee investigating fuel subsidy fraud in 2012. The Supreme Court has reserved judgment in the suit filed by 16 states challenging the constitutionality of the laws establishing the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission and 2 others to a date to be communicated to parties in this suit. At the resumed hearing on Tuesday, Imo, Bauchi and Amosun states joined the suit as co-plaintiffs, while Anambra, Ebonyi and Adamawa states announced their decision to withdraw their suits. The trial suits were struck out accordingly by the court. The Attorney General of the Federation, Lateef Fagbemi, senior advocate of Nigeria, who was present in court as the defendant, had craved the court's indulgence to take the process to filed on Tuesday morning. Justice Wani Abba Aji thereby granted leave to the defendant to use the reply on point of law filed on Tuesday. The Osun State Security Network Agency, also known as Amotekun Corps, has arrested 4 ex-convicts and other suspects for various crimes. The Amotekun Corps commander in the state, Omoyele Isaac, paraded the suspects at the Amotekun headquarters in Osogbo on Tuesday. Hamido Yegbade reports.
Musbau Ganiyu, an ex-convict, was arrested by the Amotekun operatives for robbing a POS operator. The Amotekun Corps commander, Omoyele Isaac, said The suspect was operating with 3 other ex-convicts, namely Hafiz Ayuba, Awal Adebayo, and Ilerioluwa Nuruddin, until they were arrested. I was arrested at Okini. It was true. We stole phones and money, and we were caught. My arrest led to the arrest of other gang members. The Amotekun Corps commander also paraded a woman, Taiwo Badru, for allegedly defrauding several people.
Because I collected money from my brothers, my husband's brothers, that I'm going to give him money, that I should collect money from the bank. So we'll be paying the bank monthly. But unfortunately, I didn't take the money to the bank. I used the money to finance my husband in farming and pay my son and daughter's school fees. That's why I found myself here.
So I don't know how the correctional center will be reforming all these people, because by going there and coming back, they are not reformed. So they will be taken to the appropriate authorities where they will be prosecuted again. But I promise I will follow up the prosecution. I will follow it up to the letter so that I will know where it will end. He is the one that will post as a bank manager. He will post as a regional manager. No, nothing that she cannot do to defraud people. I asked her, where did you get this experience? She said she just found herself in that way.
Omoyele said the suspect will be handed over to the police for prosecution and assured residents of safety of their lives and properties. Amid Oyegbade, Trust TV News, Osogbo.
And now stakeholders in Nigeria's agricultural sector have emphasized the need for a multifaceted approach to achieve food security in the country. This approach, they say, will ensure that diverse groups are incorporated into policies that will boost agriculture and lead to food sufficiency as millions across Asia, Africa and South America face food insecurity and malnutrition. Habibat Ajayi has more.
For the 3rd consecutive year, floods have devastated farmlands, leading to significant food losses. This crisis is compounded by escalating conflict, economic instability, and fluctuating staple food prices. Experts predict that Nigeria will confront serious food security challenges, particularly in the northeast, northwest, and north-central states up to early 2025. In response, stakeholders are calling for reforms and renewed intervention in the agricultural sector, particularly through development finance institutions, to boost food production.
Well, as I said, seriously, the government must look into seriously security. We have enough arable land to farm. We just have to fight this insecurity from bandits, from ICIS, from all kinds of groups that are making it impossible for Nigeria to produce enough food to feed itself.
While acknowledging the various challenges, they urge government at all levels to do more to improve the agricultural landscape.
Nigeria will come to a level where even today, fertilizer NPK goes at about 45,000 to 50,000. How can you have food security when you have to buy fertilizer? What is the subsidy? Nothing is more secured than a good belly without hunger. But we're talking about banditry and what have you. When you are safe, when you have food, that's the best security, food security, but we're not ready for it yet. I think something has to be done about it.
You have to start from the farm. A lot of Nigerians have been advised to go into the farm to cultivate more crops. But you and I know that even now, there's still this problem between the herders and the farmers. It has discouraged a lot of people from going into farm in the first instance. That is number one. Number two, if you look at our topography in this country, you find out that most roads or most road networks are not visible. They are lacking. They are not there actually. Coming between east and north here, between Enugu and Kogi State, you run like 2 2 hours, the road is nothing to write home about.
By prioritizing collaboration and targeted interventions, government leaders can play a crucial role in stabilizing food production and ensuring that all Nigerians have access to sufficient and nutritious food. Habibat Ajayi, Trust TV News, Abuja.
And to other stories, some environmental experts have raised concerns over the gradual extinction of the Avenger gabonesis, popularly known as Obono, from the forest in Bayelsa State and the Niger Delta at large. According to them, increase in the release of greenhouse gases into the atmosphere, with attendant implications of soil erosion and massive flooding, is another issue plaguing the species. Friday, Ibimobowe Peter completes the report.
From afar, one can easily hear the sounds of sawing machines in and around the forest of Bayelsa State renting the air. While the lumberjack and the operators smile to the banks, the forests suffer many effects, which in short time result to soil erosion, flood, and depletion of the ozone layer, with the increase in the emission of greenhouse gases.
Technology is good, but this failing without the effective control of government has made them to take undue advantage of the technology of this motor saw. But today, because of the motor saw technology, you hear it sounding everywhere in our forest, bringing down the trees in their numbers. We have truckloads of this timber leaving Bayelsa, even parts of Delta State.
Trees are felled indiscriminately across Bayelsa State and beyond. For instance, in Lugbe local government area, where you hardly see a tree above 15 years, the operators have ventured into felling the prohibited trees, like the Avengers gabonensis, popularly known as Ogbono. This economic tree is gradually going into extinction. According to Alagwa, the gradual absence of the Avenger species is not unconnected with the illegal logging of woods in some thick forests for plants and firewood.
And every year when it gets to the season, at the beginning of the rainy season, you get it. And some people plan to buy canoe, to buy wrapper, to build house from this bush mango. So it is part of our local economy, just like flooding. So if you deny these people of this aspect of the local economy, you have denied us quite a lot.
If anything planted, let the government come in to come and plant, because after now, even for this level year, who don't finish, the ones who the sun is just like pool, light pool, IS now one now they get for one log. So wood already wood don't finish. Before you go figure out now a river name beside or start on a jaw down.
The quest for firewood as a result of the high cost of cooking gas and the rise in unemployment rate are huge factors.
Where they get the firewood?
The firewood at the entire bush, they call the trip. They carry out, they carry the go, they boil the banga.
Normally we don't sell bolo, but some of bad operators they sell sometimes when the owner is not there. So those are the issues we are facing.
To this end, government must set up a forest guard and initiate stringent laws that will protect the forest from destruction by placing a huge fine on anyone caught felling down the Avenger species. From Yanagwa, Friday, Ibimobowe Peter, Trust TV News.
The Borno State Governor, Babagana Zulum, has appointed the state chairman of the Nigeria Union of Journalists, Dauda Aliyu, as a new advisor on media and publicity. The state deputy governor, Usman Kadafo, who swore in Ilya and 5 other appointees, urged them to be committed and hard-working to ensure that Governor Zulum fulfills the Borno State 25-year development plan and 10-year strategic transformation plan. He encouraged them to exhibit exemplary leadership and inclusivity in their duties in order to promote good governance.
So, the service of the people by working to achieve the governance objectives connected to individual offices. Every sector, every office So very important. And you have achieved your goal through excellence.
It is undeniable that His Excellency possesses a visionary commitment to the people of Borno, and we are, as special advisors, committed to supporting his transformational leadership, policies, initiatives, and programs through effective communication, enhanced media outreach, and robust engagement with professionals in our field. We pledge our full commitment and responsibility, and we assure you that we are not going to disappoint.
And to developments away from Nigeria, after a 6-week-long absence prompted concerns over his health and whereabouts, Cameroonian President Paul Biya has returned to the country. On his arrival from Geneva with his wife Chantal Biya, the 91-year-old did not speak to the public, but he did wave at supporters gathered nearby as his car drove away from the airport in the Cameroonian capital, Yaoundé. Lining the route from the airport to the presidential palace were thousands of supporters of the ruling Cameroon People's Democratic Movement. Among the crowds, some carried placards welcoming the president back and sending their well wishes. Biya's disappearance from Cameroon triggered widespread speculation he was ill, but authorities have published statements insisting that he is well and have insisted that it was a matter of national security. And finally, in sports, some players of the Kano Pillars Football Club under-19 team have sustained injuries due to a road accident earlier Tuesday while en route to the New Jos Stadium for their Match Day 5 fixture in the inaugural Under-19 Youth League against Plateau United. According to the media directorate of the team, several players and the driver who sustained injuries in the unfortunate incident have been taken to the hospital for medical attention. The directorate said it is thankful that no fatalities were recorded from the incident, adding that the medical team is closely monitoring the situation. It extended the team's thoughts and prayers to everyone affected, adding that it will provide further updates as more information becomes available. And on that note, we've come to the end of the news update on Trust TV. Do not forget, you can always follow us across all of our social media platforms and also join our YouTube live stream for more news programs and documentaries. I am Aisha Salihu. Thank you so much for watching. Join us again.